There we go. Look at that sucker. Oh. See if I can reduce the glare on this a little bit. Um, Oh, what the heck happened? I know, all of a sudden there are like millions of bugs. Really? It's like 1,000 bugs out here. It's been a while since I've done anything with good old wirecasting friends. Man, it is like ridiculous out here. You think the fire would chase these fuckers off? Huh? been a while since I've done anything. Good old wirecasting friends. Huh? Smoke. It's massive. You okay, dude? Anybody out there? We got 4 people. We got 5. Now we're back to 4. All right. Yeah, it wasn't this buggy the other night, man. I'll tell you. This is pretty ridiculous. Let me go outside maybe. No, nobody. Maybe they were expecting a lecture. That's my sound. Dad? Delay check. Feeling good now. That kind of one, but it's just like a little just watching fire isn't as cool as being at fire. Sure. I say people light fires tonight though. We're saying I'm lighting my fire too. That's cool. Simultaneous burns, man. It'd be cool if we were all making fire pit together, but you know. Little. Hey, James. Somebody's watching. Thanks. This is what's left of a banana tree that I found buried under a pile of debris. Hey, James. Somebody's watching. Thanks. This is what's left of a banana tree that I found buried under a pile of debris. It doesn't smell like bananas. Some great talks, James. Last couple of days have been real good, man. I'm just chilling out, but if anybody wants to talk about something or hear me ramble, I'll ramble. But I just figured let's enjoy some fire. So 6 people watching, baby. I want to give you a shout out for all the hard work you're doing with these freaking kids, man. And you're out here hanging out by a fire with me, tired and get bit by bugs. That's devotion, baby. Yeah, the fire's sitting around the fire bullshit, and it's part of our DNA, man. Hopefully this fall, after I get a little more work done around here, I'll have a few more people down. We can all sit around the campfire and have some brews and some food. I can cook some meat or vegetables if you guys like vegetables. I'll cook them for you. May not eat them anymore, but I sure as fuck can cook them. Hey, Tom. What's up, buddy? How you doing? Miss you. It's been way too long. I'm here too, driving across upstate New York, enjoying the backdrop and the truck. Nice. How's the weather? Shitty? Gray? Wet? Well, pretty typical. It is about 70 degrees, maybe. A little bit chilly for Florida. Clear, starry skies. We got a nice half moon up there, pretty much directly overhead. Looking at the Big Dipper over here. Venus is super duper bright behind me, way out to the west there. Hey Tom, hopefully maybe I know it's tough, but maybe you can escape down this fall or winter or some shit too. Be good to catch up, man. You tell life in Florida is returning to normal. You hear all kinds of ridiculous fools driving around in the street with their tiny little cars with their gigantic mufflers on them, shopping carts. It was nice and quiet for a while. Bugs went away finally. You getting it? Yeah, I guess once the sun goes down, I was out here. I got this screen over here. It's probably bringing all these damn bugs, but no banana leaves. Things you don't burn growing up in New York. That you burn in Florida, banana leaves. Random stalks of things. Half a bougainvillea bush, and a tree that got struck by lightning. Cool. Tennessee. It's nice out that way. It's James out that way, right? North Carolina near Tennessee. That's where you grew up. I drove through there a few times. It's beautiful, but never stayed. And tell your parents, I said, hi, your dad was one cool motherfucker, man. I remember back in the day throwing the football around with him and everything. Back in that big ass field behind your house. We were the best guys to never play on that team. Yo, fat wop in the house. What's up, John? I'm just chilling out, man. Enjoying Florida weather. Hope you're doing well. Back up in you know where. Mr. Chevrolet. You okay, baby? Should have invited Matt and Jamie. Those fools. They probably like fire. Fire. So, Chev, what are you up to, man? Brewing anything? Playing anything? But that guy has this place all screwed up. That guy. Yeah, that guy. We can tell stories about that guy. And Tom, yeah, that'd be freaking. If you get down to Tennessee, man, I'll come visit you there. I don't ever want to go back to New York again, especially after all this stuff. People are going to be freaking paranoid forever there. So, graduates college. Damn, dude. Your daughter's graduating college. We're that old already? Shit. My kids are two. Right on. Recording music for your friends. That's cool. Sit around. You can't really go anywhere. So just play some music, record it, break out the auto tune, fuck around, let your friends mix it up. Oh, an EP. Cool. Let me know, man. She's your youngest motherfucker. So since you're like pretty much done already, just come down here and help me give these kids a rite of passage. We're gonna need to they're gonna need some help. I'll be 60 when they're 18. Wyoming, nice. Haven't you been out to Wyoming, baby? What's out there? Yellowstone? Cool. You going to Yellowstone? That place is. I'm jealous. I'd love to see that. My wife's been to all kinds of cool places that I've never been to, like Hawaii and Yellowstone. I've been back and forth to New York and Florida like 150,000 times, and you're in Ohio, and like a pit stop in like every other state. Time Bell me incandescent light bulbs as a gift. I couldn't stop laughing. That's great. You want this? Yeah, we should do a few more skits, man. I know you're busy and you're like all super popular and everything now. But if you ever want to do some funny shit again, let me know. I've been practicing my voice acting for D&D. Go to the farm tomorrow, baby. Go see baby cow, baby chickens. See if that rooster attacks our kids again. That was pretty hilarious. Jackson Hole and some Indian reservations. That'll be awesome. Yeah, you been there? What's in Jackson Hole? Oh, the Tetons. Nice, cute little town. Kind of like Estes. Cool. Yeah, we went up to Estes and Sedona, Tombstone. Yeah, so I lied when I said I've never been anywhere. Tombstone's freaking awesome. I've been there a couple times. I'd love to go back out there again when the kids are a little older. Slap them on a horse. And then I'm not so fat that I would break a horse by getting on it. It does kind of smell like a banana. You smell it? It's like the root of it. It's a damn shame we never saw that thing. It was buried. I mean, probably was already dead before he moved in here, but looks like it was probably pretty big. So we got a melon patch going. It's pretty nice. Some honeydews, cantaloupes. That's a fig tree. We harvested a bunch of figs and never did anything with them. What else we got? We got these berry bushes. I don't know what the hell they are, but they got these little red berries. I used to eat them when I was a kid. They taste like shit, but I grew up on the mountain up in the Appalachians or Appalachians or whatever the fuck James says. And we had wild blackberries and raspberries, strawberries, everything growing everywhere. And these little berries the birds like. And when I throw my parrot seeds out, they grow these big bushes with these little blackberries and red stalks. They're awesome. So I got those growing in force for the mockingbirds because they're always singing me nice songs. So I grow them some berries. Yeah, you totally would love Tombstone, Shiv. We had last time we went out there, me and Katie went out with her brother Sean and his now wife, and we had a good old time. We get to hang out. We shot some. old school guns, some cowboy killers, the long Colts, and Katie was firing that double barrel stagecoach shotgun from the hip, pretty damn deadly. Then we went drinking with Wyatt Earp, or Arizona Bill. That was really cool. We've been there twice together, haven't we? Yeah. The one time we stayed out in the desert, that was great. I mean, there's nothing like the desert sky. I mean, I like the Florida sky; it's nice. I mean, I have pretty unobstructed view here, but there's not a whole lot of stars because there's so much ambient light, and there's so many stars out there. Whoa. See a lot of these, like just little dots moving across the sky that I've always thought were satellites. Now I have no idea what the fuck they are. Maybe they're satellites. I don't know. But it ain't a plane. Just a little dot. Just goes all the way. You can follow it all the way to the horizon. I can't read anything that's like 2 feet in front of my face, but I can follow that fucking dot, which is probably like a million miles away, all the way to the horizon. There's another one. Yeah, it's a pretty clear night tonight. Damn. It must be the coronavirus up there. Chupacabra. Skyview, yeah, actually, now that you mentioned it, I have used that. I don't use it all the time though, because I think it's cheating. The one class I actually enjoyed in college was astronomy, so I like to try to remember names of the stars and stuff, although I suck at it. One thing I am really good at though is picking out the planets. You want it, baby? Hmm? Being short. Being short. Much food over there. I know that one's clear. Ooh. I'll probably hang out for a little while longer. Let the spot burn down a bit. Get this kick-ass fire pit. My friend Justin did it. Guy who has a paver company, uses my garage, does some awesome work. There's a gigantic commercial building behind me with a slab and then a 30 by 30 covered awning that I'm going to turn into like a little lodge. So I really would like to have some live people campfires this fall. Anybody that actually still wants to talk to me, so welcome to come down, go in the pool, hang out. I'm going to put a little wet bar out there. Anybody who knows about me on a grill it's worth coming around from any part of the world to experience that. Famous Joe Burgers. I can pretty much cook anything. I got a gigantic flat top. I gotta fix that up, but and then I got that, and I got my Weber grill. Look at this big old pit here. We can put like pig and a couple of eggplants for vegetarians on there. I couldn't roast a pig though; that would make me sick. As much as I eat meat now, part of me is still abdicated the responsibility of slaughtering my own food, as Owen Benjamin said the other day. That guy's doing some great shit too. His talks are awesome. If you guys haven't been paying attention, basically hangs out like this, only he's like in front of the camera and in front of his farm with his alpacas and all of his shit going on. He talks about James all the time. It's really freaking cool to see the journey that he went through and the same kind of realizations from a whole different walk of life. Let's see. That's cool. I'm always wrong when it comes to the planets, well, except the moon. I can't miss that one. Yeah, kind of hard not to. Let's see. What part of Florida? Yeah, come on down, man. I'm outside of Tampa. All right, Tom. Thanks for stopping by, man. Take it easy. Miss you, brother. Love you. Talk to you soon. Yeah, I'll let you know when I'm doing one again. Where I live is pretty cool. It's like I'm not too far from civilization, but there's like this cool development, and behind me, um, you really can't see because the camera's all set up towards the fire. But basically, just if I were to raise the camera up and you look straight out, you wouldn't see shit right now. But there's just nothing but fish farms back there, so it's quiet back here. My little neighbor stays. Not my little neighbor, the guy's a gigantic dude, but he has a little thing he lives in back behind me over here. He's cool. He's out there burning a little fire himself. I'll probably put a little fence up before we do any kind of gatherings. Get a couple of long table setups so we can do the people of the longhouse routine and eat some food, just chill out and bullshit. I'm pretty sure we're all gonna be starving for a little interaction after all this bullshit lockdown stuff is over. I know I already am. I was just ready to start going out and hanging out and playing ball and doing shit again, and all this nonsense occurred. Yes, West Coast. I am probably about 45 minutes away from just about the best beaches on the east coast of the United States. Clearwater Beach, St. Pete Beach, Anna Maria Island, Treasure Island. They're not real beaches because Florida doesn't have sand, but it's beautiful there. So it's totally, imported sand. But you can't beat Clearwater Beach. So like, people are to come down, we could chill out at night. People can, an hour from Disney, 40 minutes in Busch Gardens. So those places will probably all still be closed, but you know, there's fishing and camp. We camp right here, but tons of stuff you can do. It's not like it's on total lockdown down here. People are, doing their things and wearing masks, but everybody's pretty respectful. I haven't really had any Karens come at me at all, and I've been just trying to mind people's space. If they're a little nervous, I can respect that. I mean, it's a little bit it fucking annoys me, but I got no reason to want to be an asshole to anybody. Can't run around explaining germ theory to everybody, but I ain't putting a fucking mask on, so. Ooh. I'll say it again because she's not here, but my wife has been freaking dealing with this shit. Kids are like, it's like everybody's got cabin fever, and they're already like, high strung, have all their dicks, so they're just these maniacs. They've been running us ragged, and I gotta still work pretty much nonstop, and she's been having to deal with them, and we can't really take them anywhere. Good thing we got this yard at least. So, man, they don't let her sleep. I mean, I don't sleep, so it doesn't really matter. If I could get him back to sleep at night, I would. But they just run away like, "Rah!" See, Dad's playtime. Ooh. So yeah, what should I spoiler for Mother's Day if I can? All my money that I don't have. Be all. I cooked you a delicious bass. She likes when I cook fish. Let's see, what does the chef say? That's cool. I haven't worn a mask yet, nor have I social distances. Right on, brother. Working in a warehouse, I have to deal with 20, 30 people a day. Most of the time, everyone wants to be there at the same time. So yeah, that's pretty much how it is. I try to be courteous with the social distancing, but it's kind of impossible at times, and it is what it is. People wearing masks, though, they get treated like bandits. I really feel like it's like an ingrained thing in my head that people that are covering their face are up to no good. So I can't. It's like it's a prejudice that's hard to shake. I try not to have prejudice, but sometimes. I wonder how the embers look. My favorite part of a fire is the embers. Who else is out there? I see 6 people. Where's Beggar? Beggar, you watching? Beggar, soon, my son. Get your butt down here. You can be doing this with me. Me and you and your boy, Beggar Jr. Yeah, it's like the funny thing. You see a lot of people with like they put like an actual bandana over their face, like instead of a mask. It's like you really are playing the part. I was I was at the butcher shop today, and this gigantic jacked up chair force guy comes in with his ridiculous digital camouflage outfit, and he has the hat on, and he's got sunglasses and a camouflage bandana around his face. It's like this guy looks like he just came out of the desert or some shit. Like, what the hell? And, they're all thanking him for his service and everything. I'm like, yeah, okay. Like, what the? It's just I'm staying the fuck out of this one. I mean, I don't listen. I don't. I'm not one of these guys who ever shits on the warrior. I mean, I don't respect the warrior who doesn't question, but I mean, I always respect the warrior. So I'm not like you never hear me bashing troops or anything like that. I get critical sometimes because I don't like them marching off to war and dying for no reason for some stupid nonsense. I mean, to me, that's just you know, I don't know, kind of a waste of a good warrior. Warriors are born and trained and they work so hard to become super death machines, and then they just go march off and die for somebody for some reason that you know not what they thought it was. It's a damn shame. Now they don't got to do that anymore. They just get everybody scared. Stay home. Don't want to get sick. You know, another funny thing, I was thinking I do a lot of introspection. You know, when you've died as many times as I have, it's easy to go back and look at your life through a different lens. And there was this doctor I had growing up. Remember this guy? Anybody back up in East Fishkill probably remember him, Dr. Fine, Jerome Fine. This guy was a fucking saint. Love that guy. I used to go to him for everything when I was a kid, and he always used to tell me, you know, Joey, your problem is your diet. You're overweight, and that's all your problems. Your asthma, everything. You know, he always wanted to talk to me about changing my diet and helping me get better. But you know, wasn't the kind of guy to whip out a prescription pad. I mean, he would if he had to, but normally he would give you like some kind of food to eat or prescribe bed rest or just very candid with you. And I realized that this guy was practicing terrain theory now. All these years later, this doctor was actually using that in his practice in his little tiny basement practice in his house. Great guy. He's like a gigantic Jewish guy with a Puerto Rican wife who was the nicest lady ever, but she would shoot you straight, man. It's, uh, yeah, he was a great doctor. So then I'm thinking back about that, and then there's my own experience after suffering and almost dying for the last like 5 years, and then finally giving up on what they were telling me to make me better, and I just cut everything out of my diet and started acting like a human again. And here I am. I just weighed myself at Publix. I was in there the other day. I hadn't been in a long time because everything that's going on. But normally I do my weight checkups at Publix because they have the big old meat scales in there, and they're pretty accurate for a man of my proportions. And I tell you, probably same time last year, I was about 265 pounds, a 44-inch waist, and I was pretty sloppy, no energy. Now I'm like 229 pounds, tan, energy. Uh, I'm not getting testosterone shots nearly as much as I was. In fact, I'm way overdue for one and not really feeling the effects of it. So I'm hoping to kick that too. We'll see what happens. But the weight's down, and it's not like shitty like it was when I was vegan, when I was always in pain and having headaches and constant stomach aches and everything else. I was skinnier, but I mean, here's the thing: is I'm fitting in the same pants that I had when I was 207 pounds as a vegan for that 1 year that I was in shape, fitting in those same pants, but none of the shirts fit me because I just rip out of them like from the shoulders and the arms. So it's a complete restructuring of my entire physique from basically doing nothing. I think I've worked out like 8 times. I used to work out like 8 times before Wednesday. Here's one other thing I want to make clear because everybody's always arguing that, you know, when you're arguing about all the stay at home stuff, and I've never said to anybody, don't be prudent, don't be smart, don't wear a mask. I said, I'm not going to do it. But I mean, you know, you do what you got to do. It's when you're starting to, you know, really try to shame other people into, you know, freedom and everything. It's like, you know, it's just crazy shit, man. Do you even understand, you know, there is no amount of death that's worth the price of freedom. I mean, if you really think about it, like we're talking about every single person since 1776 on that fought for a free society, or picketed in a street, or stood up for a civil rights movement, or you know, stood on an Indian reservation, or you know, fought to free a slave, that you know, or whatever. All those people died for absolutely nothing. Okay, the amount of people that have died since the beginning of that is an absolutely astronomical amount to keep us with relative peace and harmony that we live in today. Relative, I mean, it's pretty fucked up, but I mean, we do have some things that are better, I guess. But you know, it's just crazy. It's like, well, you want to protect everybody, and you get that, but honestly, the price tag. I mean, if 20 million people had died, I mean, still, it's you got to take things, previous sacrifices into accord, and my only real point is, we have rights, we have freedoms. You can't take them away without due process. You fuck up, you do something wrong, and guess what? You're in fucking trouble, man. But they shut the courts down and then did this, and that's just not really something that I think should be allowed. If this went to court, they would lose. They know that. That's why it's shut down. So yeah, I mean, if it was a really a necessary thing, fucking prove it. You're gonna take my rights away, fucking prove it. I'll be happy to fucking you know do what I could do for my fellow man if you can prove to me there's an actual fucking need. But I can tell you that since I gave up on believing stupid fucking ideas about germs, I haven't gotten sick. My wife hasn't gotten sick. My kids haven't gotten sick. Everybody's healthy. I mean, before that, the last straw, I was projectile vomiting and shitting at the same time. Uh, my kids were sick. My kids were sick like every other fucking week. My wife was doing really good for somebody with cystic fibrosis for a while now, but you know, she's hasn't she like baffles the doctors when she goes and sees them. She's doing really good, so I'm very proud of her for that. But especially with all the stress and everything she has to go through, it's a lot. So if there was a such thing as a killer bug that could infect you and murder you off to the side with these astronomical rates, then we would all already be long be dead. Fire's just about gone. Let's see any new comments here. Testosterone shot, does that work? My doctor said I was slightly low, but prescription was like $350. Holy shit. Yeah, so I was like barely alive, and my buddy Brian Zinna was like, "Dude, you should get your testosterone checked because I have all these, I had all the symptoms. I'm not going to get into all that right now, but I went and got checked, and my father went and got checked at the same time, and I was lower than my father, who's like 30 years older than I am practically. So I was like seriously broken and not making it anymore. So I spent a year trying to use the cream, and that didn't really do anything. And then I went on shots, and I was on the shots for like a year, and I started feeling a little bit better, but I was still getting sick and all these problems. And it wasn't until I pretty much decided that I was just not gonna fucking you know pay attention to bullshit anymore, and I was just gonna fucking go back to what made people live, what got us here and got us all these generations down the line, and just changed my diet. And fasted, went to water, and then everybody knows I'm the big raw milk monk, and raw milk's a big part of it. But it's more to it than that. As much of my skin touches the sun every day as possible. My feet are always in the dirt or near a fire, and I very seldom wear shoes unless I'm out. These things are important. You may not think they are, but they are extremely important. What you put into your body is everything. Eating food that comes out of a bag that's made someplace is not good for you. Bottom line, argument that you can genetically produce meat and sustain people with it, and I can tell you right now, it's not what's in the meat. It's the life force that sustains people. Everything eats everything. There's no such thing as a vegetarian in reality. I've seen deer eat dead mice. Humans are more closely related to a vulture digestively than they are a monkey or a cow or a lion. We eat rotted shit. We like rotted shit. Rotted meat, fermented vegetables. Shit's good for you. Pretend it's not all you want, but it is. So yeah, back to testosterone shots. So yeah, I was getting them, and uh, probably towards the end of the fall, or probably like September, October last year, I was going, had been pretty consistently going for like every two weeks to get my shots, and my testosterone was over 1,000, and I was like freaking, I was so freaking powerful, and it was like such a boost to everything for me that I've been dragging my ass for so long, and it felt great. But here's the thing, I've since then I've managed to maintain my testosterone around 500, the level, which is a healthy adult male level, 500, 600, and I still feel as good as I did then. So my brain works better. I don't fucking buy into bullshit and get sold on trusting plans or anything anymore. So yeah, meat is the way to go, man. But it's not just the meat. You got to eat the organs. You got to drink milk. Milk is actually like the only complete food that raw milk that is. If you pasteurize it, it just fucks you all up because your body doesn't know how to process things that are manufactured. That's what it comes down to. Pasteurization destroys the shape of the fat cell. It breaks down the lactoferrins. It kills everything. So your body doesn't absorb anything. You don't get really any calcium or much of anything. You just get farts and you get some water. You know, you actually hurt yourself by having pasteurized dairy. The raw stuff is like it's like a key. Just you drink it and it basically fills in whatever possible nutritional deficiency you have, and imparts to you all the immunos, all the immunity of the mother. So if it's breast milk from your mom, or not that you should go suckle on your mom, but I mean, the cow makes that for her kids because you know she wants her kids to survive, and the kids are born in dirt. They're filthy. You know, calves, they're not born in a fucking hospital, and they get up and they suck on a dirty tit, and they live. They grow to be huge bulls. So it's a no-brainer. Milk is what we make for each other, and in lieu of that, then we eat each other. I mean, not that cannibalism is good, but I mean like everything eats everything. It's the life force that's inside of the vegetable or inside of the meat that sustains other life. It's not a matter of rotting and death. It's a matter of life. Life always wins. That whole saying about man is a living soil that James patented is a wonderful expression, and it's quite literal because you are quite literally the living soil. You die, whether you're buried or you're cremated, you resort to microbes in the planet that other things grow out of, and then other things eat, and then shit out, and then it's just that's the life cycle. It's not a death. It's not a departing. It's not you're eating rotted meat or rotted vegetables. This is the way things are. Just That's why I got over having silly beliefs about diet. Meanwhile, from people that are stuffing their faces full of packaged shit. It doesn't matter what they say it's made out of. It's not really food. You want to be vegetarian, and by all means, eat fucking raw fruit and vegetables. I mean, you're still gonna not be as healthy as somebody that takes in a little bit of everything, but you could be, 90% vegetarian and still be perfectly healthy. You don't have to. There's no like strict guideline. I mean, if you're hurting yourself by, you think eating animals or something is gonna, hurt you or hampers you, then it's fine. Find a nice humane place where they treat their animals great and let them live under the sky and eat grass and do what animals do, and live a full life. And then at the end of their life, they go on and they help the life cycle by continuing to provide nourishment. Those animals not only taste better, but they actually nourish you, and you have nothing to do with any kind of factory farming or bullshit or disgusting milk. Even if you don't want to eat the meat, you could just have a glass of milk every month, and even if it was every week, you'd be 1,000 times better off, and you'd live 20 years longer. 30 years or more, damn. Yeah, DHEA is good, but it's just like part of a chain. So if you're not, it's only going to help you a little bit if the other parts of the amino acid chain in your is existing in your body. So for me, I had no fat in my body and no cholesterol. So apoptosis was not, or apoptosis was not really happening. My cells were not oxygenating. I couldn't breathe. So I was just like literally decaying, you know. So for me, you know, I needed to have everything put back in my diet. And even after testosterone shots for a year, I wouldn't consider myself healthy or even feeling good. So raw milk's easy to get in New York too, believe it or not. I don't know about right now, but normally you can go right to the farms and buy it now. So lots of farms out in Millbrook and out that way, Dover. I think the Spire's just about had it. So the setup worked pretty good. Down to two people, probably just me and you, Chef. So probably gonna wrap this up here in a few minutes, but setup worked pretty good. So I wouldn't mind doing this again. I could always have a I could always import a Zoom conversation or something like that too if anybody wanted to ever bullshit and actually do a little campfire hangout session. I could run some heads across the top and put it out there for everybody. I got my whole setup out here, and I got Wi-Fi out in the middle of nowhere here, so use my live softball TV setup for anybody that remembers that. You know, it'd be wicked cool if we had some freaking music too, some live music. People come down and hang out. We had some dudes with some guitars and some mandolins. A bluegrass family I'll probably never see again. It'd be cool. Yeah, and I think that you know, there's really nothing around here. If the neighbors did hear some music, I'm pretty sure they would come over and hang out with us, and they're all pretty cool. So I wouldn't really have a problem with that. Not that there's many; it's like two guys. The neighbors are putting in a chicken coop right over there too, so that'll be pretty cool for some fresh eggs soon. I think Marion over at South Tampa said they got some fresh pigs they're going to be slaughtering this fall or winter, so maybe we time it right. We can get some fresh meat. I got a freezer full of freshly slaughtered cow, but obviously won't be fresh. Come fall, it'll be frozen. But there's still plenty of it in there. But, it'd be nice if we can get some nice bacon, some ham hocks, make some pork chops. I didn't eat pork for a long time because I thought it was disgusting meat, and then I realized that the pork that you'd eat from a farm is probably cleaner than any meat you eat in a store. So pigs are pretty fucking gross, though. Not like cows. Oh, cool. Yeah, right on. Bring your mixing board. I have a little mixer. I still got my bass amp too. I just don't have a bass. My hands are like 1,000 times stronger now too. I bet you I should pick up a fucking bass again. I bet you I could slam on that motherfucker pretty hard right about now. Wouldn't sound like much, but except noise. Then again, it never really did. Nice. You have three? All electric? You got an acoustic? My last one was an acoustic. That thing was nice. It was funny. It's my first bass. I couldn't stand the frets on that thing, so at one point I pulled the neck off of it and I pulled the frets out and I filled them in with wood putty and I sanded it and I painted it, and that thing was awesome. And then, like 10 years, 15 years later, I started watching a documentary on Jaco Pastorius, who's like the most unbelievable bass player ever, and he did the same fucking thing with his bass. I was like, oh shit, that's fucking crazy. I mean, not that I'm Jaco Pastorius, but I just thought that was interesting. I thought I was a complete idiot for doing that, and then when I heard when he did that, I was like, oh, maybe I wasn't such an asshole after all. Yeah, there's a lag time, and then I'm not always watching the chat too, so sometimes I'm staring at the fire. So I apologize. Plus, I'm about 700 feet, 800 feet from where the router is too, so I'm still putting out a pretty clear signal, I think. Got my super death router with 8 antennas on it, all jacked up, custom firmware. Nice, Ibanez 300. That's what mine was. The one that I Pastorius did. Jackson Mini, nice. Schecter. I played a Schecter one time in where the fuck was that? It was really nice. It was down in Sarasota, whatever the hell the name of that place was. I used to go back in the open box project days. Jackson basses are great, man. Had a Fender Jazz. It was a nice one. And I had the Ibanez 300. And I had a graphite Ibanez. I forget what model that was, but it was like gunmetal looking. It was pretty cool. That one and the first one both got stolen. I almost caught the guy stealing it the first time. He did leave it, but eventually it got stolen someplace else. But then that's a funny story. Me, Ben Dobbs, Jeff Franz, Katie Huntington, a whole bunch of people were chilling out at my house having a party, and then this dude tried to start breaking into all the cars that parked in my house, and we caught him. And man, that dude got fucked up. He got fucked up big time. Jeff Franz trashed him. Ben trashed him. I fat bombed him. Katie kicked him in the face while I was fat bombing him. Pretty bad. Yeah, good times. You know, that time we had to beat the shit out of that guy. It's a good thing that happened in Florida, not in New York. Otherwise, I would have been burying a body. In Florida, we just called the cops. Oh, Geezer Butler. Nice. Good old Geezer. Is he still around? Still playing? Last I had seen his name on an album was like 1990 something. I can't remember. I think it was he was he with Ozzy for Perry Mason, or was that? I think he was.
I don't think he moved to Mike Ibanez. Mike Inez. Actually, no, Mike Inez was with Chains at the time, I think, right? Mm. Cool. I think with a name like Geezer, he'd have been gone a long time ago. He's been Geezer Butler since like long before I was born. I'm so out of the loop on music now. It's like I find out like it's like dad life. You know, you go into a freaking time warp when you become a dad, and all this shit just goes on around you. It's like, oh wait, there's new music. There's a new song by Lamb of God called Memento Mori. It's fucking awesome. If you haven't heard that one yet, you should check it out. Totally balls. Those guys know how to freaking thrash. Holy shit. Must be a UFO. What is that? Right on, man. Thanks for hanging out. I'm about to wrap it up anyway, so I will let you know what I'm doing again. I do these a couple times a week, so I'll just post up and bring my laptop out when I'm going to do it. Thanks, man. It was real cool talking with you. Hang in there. It's good talking with you, and we'll talk soon. Thanks for coming, Chev.
Ugh. Fire is getting low.
6 people watching. Who's out there? Anybody out there? Drop a comment in the chat, motherfuckers.
Ugh. There's a mountain. See, I guess it's not real light. I'm about to wrap this sucker up because it's me talking to myself. So, anybody ever watches this fucking thing, thanks for watching. And come on by next time when I'm actually doing this so we can bullshit a little bit in this creepy ass fucking house of death world. What's that didn't turn off. So, over here. Okay. Good night, everybody. Or nobody.